Stand up, hook up, check equipment, sound off for equipment check. Okay, okay, okay. All okay, jump master. Stand in the door. Green light. Go, go, go. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Check canopy. Canopy, not a can of pee. You pee after you land on the ground like a racehorse. They say racehorses do that because of the adrenaline after you land. Oh, there. After you land, you unhook your parachute and you wrap it up and you put it in the kit bag. You pull your weapon. But look, this is a presidential unit crest. That's earned by our unit, 82nd 307th Engineers. That's my unit patch. Oh, that's my combat patch. Not everybody has one. French de Guerre, something, some ribbon of war that we got. Oh, there's my rifleman award, expert marksman. There's something you get from basic training AIT. Says you're somebody. That's a national defense ribbon. That's Southwest Asia campaign ribbon. 2 oak leaf clusters on this one because it's mine. And what do we got? Oh, good conduct medal. Isn't that something? They didn't want to give it to me, but I slid through the system so much they never got me with an Article 15. So after 3 years, they give it to you. And that one, that's my ARCOM, Army Commendation Medal. My jump wings. I maintain the right 307th Engineer Battalion, 82nd Airborne Division. And yeah, there it is. I got it. Happy May Day. May Day, May Day, May Day. It's a pagan holiday. Maypole Day or something. They have little things, flowers and ceremonies, goes way back in time. And even the Catholics stole that one. I remember being in elementary school, they call it Mother Mary Day or something. And we had to march to the statue and put flowers on her like she's a pagan. But it also happens to be National Law Day. And from what I understand, there are supposed to be lawyers across the country, along with other protests going on. Lawyers across the country are supposedly coming out and they're going to renew their vows. They're going to reread their oath of office to say that they will abide by the Constitution. That's what you're supposed to do. And I thought, well, I'm not a lawyer, but I could renew my military oath to the Constitution, which is a big deal for me if I were to do something like that. You see, the first time I read it, it was at the MAPS station in Detroit. And right before shipping off to basic training, after signing up and everything's done before they put you on the bus to the airport, you stand there with a bunch of other guys and you read the military oath to the Constitution. I remember doing that. I'm standing there going, this is weird, man. I don't really know how much of an oath I give to anything, but I said I'd do it, and I do it. And as much of a pain in the ass as I was, in the military. See, before they ever came up with that army of one thing, I was an army of one. I don't work too well with others. I'm not a club mentality by nature. But they didn't like me being an army of one. Elderquist, do push-ups. They said that a lot. I got so good at push-ups, they couldn't punish me with them anymore. I would make fun of them. First sergeant, before we even made it to the end of the block on a run one morning, First Sergeant During says, Elderquist, do push-ups. I jumped out of formation, we're running, and I dropped, and I was good at one-arm push-ups too, because I got so much practice at push-ups. I'm not going to do one right now. But it wasn't like those awkward, I can do it. I could do them just one arm, and I started flipping back, one push-up, one push-up, one push-up. And I said, how many in which arm, First Sergeant? And he said, both arms. I screwed with him so much. Elderquist. You're a senior specialist in this unit, Elderquist. You start saying shit like that, these jugheads will believe you. I'm like, oh boy, you should have never told me that. You just told me the power that I held, and I watched the whole company shift. People were making fun of the guy without me even doing it. I was on leave one time, and Scamp told me when I got back, he said, yeah, First Sergeant, somebody said something smart ass while we were running, and First Sergeant says, Elderquist, do push-ups. And Scamp says, Elderquist is on leave, First Sergeant. He says, do push-ups anyway. So they had me doing push-ups when I wasn't even there. So I took an oath to the Constitution, and I followed my lawful orders. But I was also having a good time with it. They said I had a bad attitude. I said, I'm smiling all the time. How is that bad? Well, you know. But so I decided to do my part in this whole May 1st thing where lawyers are rereading their oath to the Constitution. I thought I'll redo my military oath, because after I got out, I felt like, you know, I only took it for while I was there the way I saw it. I saw it like, while I'm in the military, that oath stands. But it's like court. After you get out of court, promising to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, that's got to end when you walk out of that courtroom. Otherwise, we'd be getting arrested all the time for lying to our wives and things, you know. So I decided to look up the military oath to the Constitution and write it all down so I could read it out properly. I said, well, now's the time I should probably renew my vows, because there's some stuff coming. And I do believe in the Constitution. It's a thing that holds us together, but it's delicate. It only depends on the people in charge and how they feel about it, you know. You don't want to be taking orders from somebody that doesn't believe in it. So I decided I'll do it. I looked it up. Just so I could repeat it. I Googled it. I did my research. I'm doing the work. I'm not a slacker. But what came up was a description of the oath. The military oath of enlistment. It requires members of the U.S. military to solemnly swear or affirm to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. This oath also includes a pledge of true faith and allegiance to the Constitution and obedience to the President and authorized officers. Oh, according to regulations. This commitment extends to all branches of the military, including officers and enlisted personnel. Any command against the Constitution would be an unlawful order. What happens when the president, the commander-in-chief, wants to tear apart the Constitution, wants to change it, to adulterate it as he has done to his wives? If he can't even keep a promise to a person, how can we expect him to keep a promise to a piece of paper? I'm not doing it. I'm not going to renew my vow to the Constitution. Not with what that poor guy wants to do and then still call it the Constitution so he can use it against me, against us. And so I guess we move into the future on our own. All the way, sir. We are the Judas resurrection. Airborne.